joining us. Obviously, coming off a disappointing game, it was good to get back with our guys. Yesterday they had practice. I think it's the best thing for coaches and players to get back on the field together. We had a really good practice yesterday, and we're about to go off another one this afternoon. Obviously, we have a great opportunity ahead of us, a big test on the road, and playing what I think is if not the best, one of the best teams in the country, both personnel-wise, and they're extremely well coached. So we know we have a big task ahead of us, and we're certainly going to embrace that and prepare to go play a great game there this Saturday. We got to find a way to get a win on the road in our conference, and that's something we're talking about as a team, as an organization. I think it's the next step. And I think right now you see with us, we have all the signs of a team that I think has a bunch of promise, but also is a young team. We play that way, so we're inconsistent right now. I mean, there's both individually and as a whole, as a team, there's a lot of ups and downs, and so obviously that's our job. It's my job as a coach to get that corrected and work our team out of that. And that's certainly what we're looking to do. And our guys are very coachable. They understand that. I think they see where those things have happened and how we can correct them, and so we'll keep working that way to get it corrected and get us more consistent. So with that, I'll open up for any questions.
Terp Talk is brought to you by Viner Consulting, your source for point-of-sale systems that give you business control and manage your inventory. Hardware, software, training, and support from NCR and Revel Systems. Call Viner Consulting at 301-251-2900 or visit us at oneviner.com.
DJ, early in the season when you were playing teams where you guys were favored or people expected you to win, you talked about keeping the blinders on and sort of not getting caught up in what people were saying. Do you have to go the other way, the same way in terms of when you're playing a number 2 team in the country and sort of really keep focused on the opportunity, as you say, as opposed to what the odds are, what the people are saying outside the locker room?
Yeah, sure. I think it's with any game, right? If you're listening to outside opinions, one way or the other, it's certainly not going to help you. And so I think we've at times done a really good job of that, and maybe at times haven't. I don't know. I mean, we're certainly a work in progress and trying to take every experience we go through as a team as a teachable moment. And so that's what we got to do. That's certainly the task at hand this week. I mean, and it's it's well deserved by them. They are where they are for good reason. So what we have to do is focus on us and how to get ourselves the best prepared for the game.
Yeah, DJ, knowing their roster and their coaching staff being only a year removed, does that help you at all this week or give you any of a different advantage when you're trying to prepare?
Yeah, but anytime you're familiar with the roster, you don't spend as much time sitting there breaking down each player, figuring out what his strengths are, weaknesses, what he does, all that. I mean, when there's familiarity, that always helps. I mean, even when you're playing teams within conference, you're familiar with guys you play against, and obviously me being there, there's familiarity. So certainly, I think that helps. But the main thing is, I mean, players play games, not coaches, and so for me to know all that, that's great. But it's our players studying film and knowing what they're up against and what they have to do is the most important thing, and us conveying it to them.
Coach Jim Harbaugh at Michigan, what drew you to that staff way back when? What did you learn the most in your year with him, and what makes him such a special lightning rod?
Jim and I worked together back at Stanford, and really enjoyed working with him, and it was obviously a great opportunity a year ago to rejoin him in Michigan. And, he's a fantastic coach, even better person. Consider a friend of mine, and so there's a long list of things that I've learned from him. Certainly, he's very successful and does a great job.
When you think back to your time at Michigan and that whole year, what's 1 or 2 things that stand out as something you've learned that you've tried to implement here?
I don't know, man. I think all your experiences kind of get molded together a little bit of just learning. You always draw back on different things, but nothing's ever exactly the same. Every place has its own formula to win. Every circumstance is a little different. I've been part of a couple new coaching staffs and taking over programs, but their programs are in different states when you get them too, and so it's like, how do you figure out? You got to put the pieces of the puzzle together where you are. And so there's an extremely long set of advantages I believe we have here. It's going to help us, as we keep moving forward. There's also some things when you come in that are disadvantages that you have to work through. That's with any program. To me, the biggest thing is identifying those things, figuring out and sorting through, like in order of importance and how to deal with and manage all those things. I think that's the key to, as a coach taking over your program.
Coach, last week 650 yards given up. Obviously, you studied the film, and as you said, you're working on things. But what did you see happen, and what can be corrected in the span of a week going into Michigan?
Right. I mean, there's a whole list of things. Some schematic, some fundamentally, some just personnel-wise. There's a whole different lot of reasons for that. And so we've studied hard, identified it, and then what we have to do is get our guys better fundamentally, get our guys playing within the scheme. That's come up a couple times in games this year where, again, as a young team, there's like a sense of panic almost that sets in when it's you get hit on a couple players, it's not working, and then guys start trying to do their own thing. And we certainly can't. No one can. You can't function as a team, as a defense in particular, doing your own thing. So that's the learning process that we're trying to go through, and that's our job as coaches to get that done. So we've been very matter of fact, honest about it, pointed it out, and showed it on film, and make those corrections as we move forward.
Coach, what do you do to prepare for a dynamic all-around player, Heisman candidate, Earl Peppers, where you have to teach the guys before?
Yeah, I mean, he's a fantastic football player, and he plays really hard. He's competitive. He plays hard, and that's who Earl is. He's fun to watch. So, we've got to obviously be aware of where he is, and he shows up in all different facets of the game, and it's a great challenge for our guys, a good task to make sure that we don't allow him to have a lot of those explosive plays that he's had in just about every game. He's definitely been a difference maker for him.
Coach, Michigan leads the Big Ten in sacks per game. Conversely, your pass protection, I think, is allowed 3 sacks per contest. What is it about the Wolverines' pass rush that makes them so special, and what's the biggest challenge you guys face this Saturday?
Yeah, they're extremely talented up front. They have, their defensive front is probably the best in the country. I mean, that's what they are, and they're really well coached. So, yeah, it's a big test for our guys. We got to buckle down and play our best fundamental game and be assignment sound. And I think as a competitor, you look at things as a great challenge. That's what you want. You want to go play against the best and see how you measure up. So that's the approach we got to take, and certainly understand what they're capable of, and that's what makes it fun. So that's what you want to play in these types of games. I believe we become a part of this conference.
Coach, when you saw this one on the schedule, did you circle it? Do you feel, I realize you don't have deep roots at Michigan, but what do you think your emotions might be on the other sideline going against Michigan in the Big East as a visiting coach?
Right. No, I mean, it's a conference division opponent. Like in every game, we need to find a way to go get a win, and because of all the ramifications it has within the conference. I really enjoyed my time there, so being back there would be nice. It's a great place. My family enjoyed it. But if you're there to play a football game, it's not. It's different when you travel for games. You travel in town, you go to the hotel, you have meetings, whatever, and you get up and go play the game, and you leave right afterwards. So it's not. There's not really time for anything other than just getting the team prepared and on your normal routine, I believe, for the game. So I don't anticipate anything different that way. It's just you get in game mode as a coach, as a player, and you get in your routine, and that's what you do.
Coach, offensively, they scored 40-plus points in 6 of their 8 wins. What did they do so well, and how are you going to slow them down? Like Wisconsin did, only 14 points.
Yeah, I think really it comes down to just executing and being sound in what we're doing. Not giving up big plays and having our eyes in the right place, fitting right. They're very multiple in all formations they do, and and you know, run pass. They're you know, they're pretty balanced. They can beat you either way. So really, to play sound defense, and we got to play with great effort. We got to get a bunch of guys in the ball. They have a lot of, you know, really talented athletes. They can make a guy miss. So we need a bunch of guys getting the ball to, you know, get them down, you know, when a guy does miss.
I listened to Jim Harbaugh's press conference yesterday. He uses the word championship game. I guess that's a normal phrase. He says we're playing a championship game on Saturday. Do you use any type of terminology or any kind of that kind of term, you know, to you know, make sure your players understand the importance of the game?
No, just prepare for the game, and I think, you know, guys understand, you know, the importance of the game. I think it's more about focusing on how to prepare the right way for the game. So,
Is that a normal phrase he uses when he talks about every game?
I don't know. You'd have to ask him. I don't know the answer.
Last one.
You've talked before about all the freshmen that have played and experience, and you mentioned something about there's no such thing as hitting the wall. But is there anything special you do with this stretch as you talk to these young guys about playing these long-term championship-type programs like a Michigan and Nebraska?
Just keep working. You know, that's not a magic formula. I don't know. We're going to practice really hard today. That's what we're going to do. We're going to keep working, and that's, to me, that I don't know. That's the only way I know how to get better and improve is you go work. You know, you certainly don't back off and let off or allow whatever to creep in. You get back to work. And our guys have done a good job at it. I mean, we've you know, unfortunately had some low points throughout different games, but we bounced back and played really well. You know, and we've done that as a team. So that's what I know to do. That's what our program is going to do, and that's what our guys are certainly learning to do.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, thank you.